pag-usapan din natin ibang mga pinasabpinan ninyo, no? Ito si Attorney Michael Poa, abogado rin siya, member din siya nitong defense team o vice president. O doon sa press con niya kanina, sabi niya open naman siya na sumipot doon sa pagdinig ninyo. Okay? Can you talk about the possible complications? Di ba may niraise kayong issue dyan before, conflict of interest?
Well, I think the issue on conflict of interest was laid on the table at the moment, no? So we will just allow the process to take its course. And if Mr. Poha will actually attend the next hearing and respond to questions relating to his work and not raise client confidentiality as a reason not to respond. So, okay na yun. We will accept his testimony.
Kung ganun yung mangyari, pwede siyang can he remain as a member of the defense team by the Vice President and also serve as a witness? Pwede ba yun?
I think yan po muna yung binibigay nating benefit of the doubt, no, sa atin pong mga abogado at this point. But in the event, for example, that these two lawyers will be subpoenaed and then they raise objections to answering questions on the basis of client confidentiality, I think that is the proper time for the committee to actually act on the question.
Okay. Pero nga, paano kung talagang hindi mag-participate for the rest of the impeachment hearings itong Vice President o yung kanyang mga abogado? Hindi magiging one-sided yung inyong determination?
Hindi naman. I think the Vice President has been afforded the opportunity to explain, to answer in each and every step of the process, no? So even if she is stating today that the proceedings are unconstitutional, the notices will still be sent to the Vice President to be able to present her evidence during the committee hearing.
Okay, kasi basahin ko yung bahagi ng kanyang statement. Sabi niya, naisimite ko na ang aking answer at kautelam. Sa ngayon, wala nang dapat pang gawin ng komite kundi ibasura ang mga reklamo dahil sa malinaw na kakulangan ng ebidensya. Yun ang claim niya, no? So mukhang walang balak mag-participate ito. And ang gusto ko itanong sa inyo rito, no? Ang basa ko kasi rito hindi naman mahirap hulaan, no? Mukhang Supreme Court ang gusto takbuhan nito. At kung hindi mang himasok yung Supreme Court, Senate, baka feeling niya mas meron siyang chances doon. Kaya dinidisregard niya na itong proseso sa inyo. What do you think?
Siyempre sa dulo-dulo naman ho, ang pangalawang Pangulo po yung magpapasya, no? Kung gusto niya magpakita o hindi. Pero siyempre, we take exceptions to comments na ito po ay unconstitutional. Kasi that is basically questioning the proceedings itself. No? And our position is, wala akong batayan nyo. Dahil we are not conducting a trial or a mini-trial. We are conducting a hearing based on the constitutional provision and based on the provision of the rules of impeachment of the House.
Pero do you think that is part of her strategy? Eventually, pupunta muli sa Supreme Court, seeking refuge there.
Okay naman ho. Malaya po ang pangalawang Pangulo gawin ito. Pero if their basis to, kasi this is the first time that they actually classified the proceedings as unconstitutional on the basis of stating it as a mini-trial, parang mahirap po atang mag-issue ng TRO ang Korte Suprema just because nagrereklamo ang isang partido na ginamit ng isang tao ang mini-trial bilang isang salita to describe a proceeding. Para medyo manipis po yun as a basis for a TRO. Kasi even during the proceeding today, hindi ba, no one was actually referring to it as a mini-trial. We had always been referring to it as a committee that this is a proceeding which is a hearing within the context of the Constitution and within the context of our House rules.
At saka hindi rin ba ito yung kasama rin sa mga inilatag ng Korte Suprema doon sa kanilang pinakahuling ruling, hindi ba?
Ano na po yun, ibang bagay na po yun. I mean, this is going to be a new question. Pero,
I mean, yung proseso sa House Justice Committee. Diba? Nakalatag yan
Tama. It's in the rules. It's in the Constitution and it is in the rules, no? That pagka meron sufficiency in grounds, there will be a hearing. And precisely to determine probable cause. So, very specific po yung steps na pagdadaanan po natin.
Okay. Ito mga sinisimplihan ko yung mga tanong kasi alam naman natin sa ating information ecosystem, madaling i-twist yung iba't ibang mga impormasyon. Talk to us about the nature of the subpoenas na i-issue for documents and for witnesses. Mandatory yan, hindi ba? Hindi yan optional on the part of the subject of those subpoenas. In short, hindi pwedeng tanggihan.
Tama po yun. And to be clear, yung pong mga personalidad na paghahainan, nito pong sa Pinas po na ito, hindi po yan sa partido ng Pangalawang Pangulo. It will be on government offices. So, for the congressional records to Congress personnel, for COA records on the Commission on Audit personnel, and so on and so forth. No? So, BIR, SEC, PSA, at iba pa hong mga opisina po ng pamahalaan.
Kung hindi po sila
It will be them.
ano mangyayari?
Sorry, it will be them that will sit before the committee and give truth to these documents.
Paano kung hindi sila mag-comply?
Merong compulsory processes, no? Yung pong ating pagdinig. So, yung pong contempt powers is there. Yung pong notice to explain ay nandun. At iba pa hong mga kapangyarihan po ng komite para to get at the truth of the matters being discussed.
Okay. So in short, no? They have to comply with the subpoenas unless a TRO is issued, di ba?
No, they have to even without the TRO, they have to comply. No? So, ako naman po, what I'm foreseeing lang is
kung magkaroon ng TRO, kunwari magkaroon ng TRO for specific subpoenas.
Oh, well, it will only be a TRO that can stop the proceedings, no, of the Justice Committee or the disclosure of particular documents or the appearance of particular subpoenaed persons. Pero ano po ninyo, I think mabigat yun kasi nga this proceeding is clearly the sole power of Congress. No? So I think medyo mag-iingat din naman po ang Korte Suprema sa bagay po na ito.
You can never tell. Teka, joke lang yun. Sa ating gagalang-galang na Supreme Court. Okay, ito huling tanong, Kong Terry, no? Ito, nakikita natin yung narrative ng kanyang mga taga-supporters. Binanggit na rin naman yan sa kanyang pahayag, no? Ito sabi yan, suliranin ng bayan ngayon ay ang nanganganib na pagsasara ng mga negosyo, ang pagkawala ng trabaho at ang hirap ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino tulad ng patuloy na pagtaas ng presyo ng mga produkto. So basically, they claiming na bakit ba kayo nakatutok sa impeachment ni Sara Duterte? Ang problema, ekonomiya. Okay, ano pong tugon ninyo doon?
Katulad na binanggit na natin kanina, alam po ninyo, tumugon po yung Kongreso sa mga accountability mechanisms katulad ng impeachment. At the same time, tumutugon po sa economic relief. Ngayong gabi nga ho, pinirmahan na po ng Pangulo yung pong removal suspension of excise taxes on petroleum products. Rinatsyada po ng Kongreso yan over the course of an unprecedented 2 weeks. No? Dahil malaga sa Kongreso at sa Pangulo, yung pong immediate relief para ibagsak ang presyo po ng langis by at most 10 pesos per liter. Ginawa ko natin yan at the same time that impeachment proceedings are being undertaken. Tama ko yun. Mahalaga po yung mga usapin ng sikmura. Katulad ng binanggit ko rin kanina, pero mahalaga rin po yung usapin ng katarungan. Mahalaga rin po yung usapin ng pananagutan. Hindi po yung nakakain, pero mahalaga po yun sa tao.